Hello, my name is Len David Livesey, and I have a very good, nice show for you today. We're still doing our Halloween shows. So we're doing the Halloween shows. This one is we're going to show some very kind of disturbing pictures. Uh, I hope you enjoy this. Some people will say these are real, fake, whatever you need to say, but we're going to show you the strange and the unusual today. My name is Len David Livesey, and I'm your full spectrum Gnostic. So let's go ahead and get started today. And what are we showing today? Uh, this is the picture I was showing uh, about the giant grasshopper. And let's get rid of the banner so we can see all the good pictures. This is a grasshopper that was shot back in the 1930s. A lot of people like fiction, but a lot of people don't know that reality is a lot stranger than fiction, and there's so much strange stuff out there that we don't know about. And there have always been stories about strange things that people have seen and whatever. The only difference between today uh, and the past is today we got cameras. Everybody got a camera. And today when people see stuff, people like to be able to take pictures of it, and that is what you need to be doing when you come across weird stuff and you come across strange activity. You need to be taking pictures of it. And this was a chance that this thing was taken a picture of back in the 30s, and it's a normally I would say is not a good thing that we go around shooting these things. Maybe giant grasshoppers we should be shooting because grasshoppers, even when they're super small, is extremely hard for us to deal with. Giant grasshoppers of that size, I don't think we would survive if it was man versus giant grasshoppers. I really don't believe so. Let's go to our next picture. Now, this is something that was captured on a trail camera. I have no words for what this thing is. I have no way of explaining what this thing is. Besides, this is totally strange and totally ridiculous. Okay, it didn't even make any sense. Trail cameras is the new thing that's been catching the super weird, absolutely totally strange pictures all over the place. And I see a lot of people signing in. I want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. We need to get attendance up on these videos. Let people know this is existing because I'm showing you the cutting edge. I have hundreds of these strange pictures. But unfortunately, I can't tell you what that is. Is that some kind of deformed human being? And why would he be out warming the woods in the middle of the night? This is what was seen in Russia. It washed up on the beach. This is how we find a lot of stuff because stuff washes up on the beach all over the world. Unfortunately, a lot of times when they wash up on the beach, they're dead creatures. This thing washed up, and at lots of Siberia, there's a lot of, we don't know what these things are. They don't know what this is. And people believe that with all of our modern science and everything we have, that everything can be explained today. Most people don't know that science discovers hundreds of new animals and species all the time. And we're getting ready to show a close up on the mouth of this thing. This is very, very, very strange. Okay. Look at that. That's not an alligator. That's not a fish. That is just weird. That's not a shark. Okay. But there's just a lot of weird stuff out there. Okay. And this come from Russia. So and since and as I said, and what a lot of people do, which is good, is they like to take pictures. Now, back in the old days, they would just tell you about things they saw and whatever, and people would call it urban legends. Like people would say, like, Glenn, there's a big bug behind you. I don't believe you. That's just an urban legend. There is no big giant bug behind me. I don't believe that. You get what I'm saying? Good thing we have cameras today because we can capture a lot of these very weird things. Because if we don't have cameras, I just would believe that there's a big bug behind me. This is from Antarctica. A lot of strange things have been found in Antarctica. We have talked about Antarctica several times. But one thing that scientists is doing a lot in Antarctica is doing fossil hunting. Fantastic fossils in Antarctica. But what is this a fossil of? It looks like a little super Chiquita tiny human was fossilized. And I thought fossils took a very long time to form. Thousands, millions of years. That's what we was told. Maybe were we back there back then, and were we that small in the good old days? Look, there's a penny next to it. That fossil is that small. They have found all kind of stuff in Antarctica. Unfortunately, they don't show us a lot of this stuff because I guess we don't need to know. There's another one. And you can see the bone structure in minute detail. This is what they like about the fossils in Antarctica. They are so clear because of the ice and snow and everything else. You don't have a lot of pollution and a lot of, things. Everything was like flash frozen down there. Incredible. So maybe millions of years ago we existed, but we was just super tiny little chiquitas. I don't have the slightest idea. But the fossil is a fossil, but how can people be that small? But there's stories about little tiny people. We have all heard these stories, right? Maybe these stories about little tiny people is not fiction. Maybe they existed in the past. Maybe we killed them all. Maybe some of them are still here. This is another thing that was taken a picture of in Antarctica. Of that, I have no comment. I do not know what that is. No arms, no legs. That thing is just weird. And that is not a penguin. It's not a walrus. Is not, we can go down the list of what it's not. It says they're trying to label this as a humanoid creature that lives in the water. I don't know if that's true or not. But that is very, very strange. Okay. Some people say it looked like a night crawler. I'm not an expert on night crawlers. Okay. But see, the reason why these strange things are appearing now is because man is going everywhere. Things have always been seen that was strange. But with our cameras, is that vegetable? Is that human? Is that some kind of intelligent plant, animal, humanoid? Is that an alien? I'm not eating that. But you can see how much this thing is deformed. And this is no aborted fetus for those who's going to be saying that's an aborted fetus. No. We're not even going there. You can see the detail. Now, how come there are things on this world we don't know about? Most people, well, you've been told, the earth is 70% water. We only live on the land, which is 30% land, 70% water. But even on the land, which is 30%, we only live in 30% of the land. But land, how could this be true? Because we live in cities. Now, this was shot back in the 1800s, and people can say this is the doctored picture, Lynn. There is no pterodactyls. That's just totally fake. There are several of these pterodactyl pictures. We was told that these pterodactyl creatures went extinct millions of years ago. That there are lots of these pictures of these creatures. Unfortunately, no one has a picture of a live one. The reason is because people have something called guns, and people with guns like to shoot things. Let's talk about that. This is why our planet is under planetary quarantine. Because if an alien actually came here, we would shoot it. That's what we love to do. We love to shoot everything. Here's another picture of a pterodactyl type creature. This one's not taken from the 1800s. These hunters all got guns too. We just go around shooting everything. We string everything up. Animals, people, aliens, even the Son of God. I think he got strung up. I read about that somewhere. You got to be very careful on here. You know what I'm saying? We need to really change our ways. Okay. And if we do discover alien life, we'll probably shoot it and string it up too. You get what I'm talking about? This is why we're in the quarantine. We really need to change our ways. We're terrible. We're super bad. Okay. But that doesn't look millions of years old. Okay. Let's go and see what is next coming up. But I have hundreds of these pictures. Now, this is a replica. I will tell you, this is not a real bird. This is a replica that was formed from some remains of uh, uh, bird bones that they found. This is the size they believe because of the bones this bird actually is. This is a recreation of what the Indians talked about as the thunderbird. The Indians along the Mississippi River talked about these giant birds that could pick up people and women and babies and there's one story about a bird picking up a buffalo. Okay. And if they picked you up, it probably wasn't a happy ending. Was there birds in America that big? The only bird we know that was big was a dodo bird. A dodo bird was big, but it was like 4 or 5 feet tall. Okay. That was the biggest bird we know. And that's even extinct too. We shot it. Talking about big things, now we're going to the deserts of Iran. Science says that is not a fossil. That is a rock formation that looks like a fossil. And reason why they say that is not a fossil because they say animals cannot grow to this proportion. This animal, if this thing was real, would be hundreds of feet long. You're going to see in a minute a picture of a person standing next to one of his rib bones. But remember, this is not an animal. Science say animals can only grow to a certain size. They are limited. See, we're experts. When God was creating and the animals, we was there coaching him, telling him what he can and cannot do. Now, look at this. This is the spinal cord here. These are rib bones. Look how tiny the guy is. But I'm correcting myself. These are just fossils. These are just rock formations that look like a spinal cord, that look like rib bones. Because scientists will tell you animals cannot get this big. That is technically impossible for an animal to be of that size on the earth. And science knows everything. It's hard to argue with science today. So, But if that thing once existed on the planet, oh my gosh, that would make Godzilla-sized animals a reality, not fantasy. That there was animals once upon a time the size of Godzilla and all these other animals. And maybe these Japanese movies is not fake. Now, I don't know what that is. This comes from South America. That is not a dog. That is not a wolf. That is not a lot of things. You can see it's been shot several times. You see these holes? Okay. Somebody is always putting holes in animals. I don't know why that is. Maybe in this case, look at its mouth. Maybe this thing needed a few holes in to be put in it. But the strange thing about these strange animals, when you find something strange and you notify the authorities, they come and pick it up. And then they say it wasn't real, it was fake, it was this and that, it was a diseased dog, this and that. And you say, okay, can I have it back? Oh no, we had to destroy it. No, you can't have it back. We destroyed it immediately because it was a diseased dog. Okay. This was taken on a trail camera out in the middle of the woods. Now, maybe this is a guy with a Halloween costume in the woods playing in the swamps. He's going to get shot by some of these people with these shotguns. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's a safe thing to do. But let's hope this is a guy in a suit, because if this is real, we're in big trouble. And what is that he's carrying? Is that a little baby right there? That is super scary. So I'm hoping this is not. I'm just hoping that he was out doing Halloween and the hunters didn't get him, because these trail cameras are taking some ridiculous pictures. But I wouldn't want to run up against that thing. That's just, oh my gosh. Now this one, this is the Maltalk Monster. This washed up on the beach in New York State. Okay. And people saw this sling lang on the beach. This is not a dog. This is not a lot of things. Okay. Nobody knew what animal it is. Maybe this is some experimentation with man messing with genes and doing all kind of stuff. Of course, animal control came and got it, and they said again it was just a diseased dog. You know how those diseased dogs just be doing all kind of stuff. But this is just very, very strange. But this is known as the Maltalk Monster for those who want to look this up. Okay, you know, everything I talk about here, you can actually go and Google and look up. Okay. But now, this is another thing that was taken with a camera. Somebody was looking inside of a sewer pipe. Now, this is probably just a rat standing up, looking at the camera like, what's that? But look at those little tiny hands. I don't think rats have hands like that. And look, he even got a little goatee and everything right there. Look at those ears. Oh my gosh, but it's just a rat. We all know. Okay, it's a rat. You feel better now. I really don't know. Oh, and talk about people going in sewers. They have come across, there's some videos on YouTube about these sewer workers going in the sewers. And they get glimpses of stuff that goes past them and whatever. It's, oh my gosh, people live in the sewers too. I don't know if I would want to be them. This is another picture that was taken in South America. This is called a demon that was captured on a picture of a real demon. I'm not a demon expert. I don't know what demons look like. I don't know if this is a demon or not, but I would hate to be in a cave with something that looks like that. This is why I don't go in the caves. Okay. Because if there's anything like that in a cave and I come across it, I'm going to have a heart. I don't know about you, but it doesn't look very friendly. Okay. That does not look friendly at all. It just doesn't look friendly. So, but this is why it's important for us to keep taking these pictures. And they will keep destroying the evidence and destroying the pictures and telling you it's fake and this and that and everything else. But we have a question. Why do they need to tell us everything is fake? This is what is called a we know that jellyfish is in the ocean. People around the world have seen these things that look like a jellyfish, but they're up in the sky. We even have a name for them, sky jellies. To science, it's just a cloud formation that looks like a jellyfish. Hopefully, it's just now. Could things actually live in the upper atmosphere that we don't know about? We all know that's impossible because up there, the oxygen is very thin. But what you don't know in the last year or two, on outside of the space station, they have discovered bacteria growing on the outside of of the space station. They thought it was contamination before it was launched, but when they tested the bacteria, it is of an unknown species of bacteria. They don't know where it came from. Now, this is really scary. This was a thunderstorm over the Grand Canyon. This is just a thunderstorm. It's nothing but a thunderstorm. Right? Look at that. It's nothing but a thunderstorm. Is there things in the air that we don't know about? The Indians had a name for these things, sky spirits. Can you imagine the size of this thing? Look at the mountain range and look how big this thing is. You can even see the little, oh my gosh. That's just a thunderstorm. It can't be nothing other than a thunderstorm. We all know that, right? Okay. Let's hope and pray that it is. Somebody says it's a thunder. I don't know, but gosh. Oh my gosh. Now, we know what this thing is. This is from the Philippines. This is a flying fox. But flying foxes should not be this big. You can see the soldiers down here. This thing is bigger than the soldiers. Flying foxes don't get that big. And again, they shot it and strung it up. That is what we love to do on this planet. You better warn those aliens. If you come to our world, you're going to end up getting strung up. Okay. Because that's what we do with everything. We string everybody up. We shoot you and then we string you up. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So those aliens better be very, very leery about coming to the earth. Okay. But flying foxes, there is no flying fox of that dimensional size. Now, this, again, is another creature. See, these flying creatures are normally pretty small, 3 feet, but this thing is the size of a man, too. But again, he got a shotgun. So if you go deep into the forest, you probably could come across all kind of stuff. But we know what to do. When we come across anything we don't recognize, anything that doesn't look like us, shoot first, ask questions later. Is that the best thing to do? Okay. We don't try to study it. We don't try to figure out what it is. We just shoot the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's why it's terrible. We're terrible. Okay. This is very, very bad. That's why Bigfoot, I was saying the other day when we was talking Bigfoot, is probably extinct. Now, this is from South America. I do not want to see a frog that big. You know, a frog will eat anything that it can fit into its mouth. You don't want a little baby or a cat or a dog roaming around with a frog that big. That's going to be history real quick. That's amazing. But these stories of big animals are all over the world. Okay, so is this just freak that something can grow that big? Because normally we see tiny little baby frogs and they're so tiny. That thing is not tiny. That is doesn't. I don't. Yeah, I don't like frogs anyway. I don't do reptiles. I'm a cat man myself, but I don't do reptiles. I don't do snakes. I don't do reptiles anyway. No, I leave them alone. But now, what is that? This was found in India. Is that some kind of frog creature? That's not a little tiny human being. Look at the face. That's not the face of a human. But look at the arms and the legs. Maybe the aliens are here, but the aliens, instead of being big, maybe the aliens are very tiny. You get what I'm saying? Now, the reason why maybe they don't want us to know about this, because maybe we would panic. Maybe if we knew that there was animals and things out there that we don't know about, we would all climb to the top of our houses and jump off. This is a bear that was shot. We have seen bears. Never a bear that size. That's humongous. I'm surprised the guy was able to shoot him. Super humongously big. But again, how come we just couldn't leave him in peace? How come we just couldn't take a picture of the giant bear? Okay, you can't eat that thing. I guess he probably had it stuffed. Super, super big. Super big. See, fact is stranger than fiction. We love to see movies about weird animals and weird this. This is something somebody found in the woods in Southeast Asia. This looks like a baby boy, but it also looks like a pig. Look at these ears. Look at the hands. Look at those fingernails. Look at the snout. You think a woman and a pig was doing something? I don't have a lot of answers. This thing was found in Southeast Asia. I don't know what this is. They said it was a deformed pig. Okay. Pigs don't have fingernails like that. Pigs don't have hands like that. They just don't. Okay. And look at the teeth of this thing. Pigs don't have teeth like that. Is that some kind of chupacabra creature? This thing actually looked like the thing from Lord in the Rings, where you talk about what is that thing called? You have that thing that that's half man and half whatever.